The wind howled against the dealership's large glass windows as it brushed through the lot of shiny cars, their polished exteriors gleaming under the harsh fluorescent lights. It was the usual buzz of the end of a busy workday, yet something felt off in the air. The sound of heels tapping rapidly against the marble floor echoed through the building, a stark contrast to the low murmurs and clinking of keys. The woman walking with determination was not a face the employees were used to seeing. Her name was Jasmine, and she had only just stepped into the dealership's grand lobby for the first time. Yet it felt like she had always belonged there. She had earned her place, though no one could see that just yet. Jasmine had fought her way through a life of adversity. She was a black woman in an industry dominated by men, and to make it in the world of business had required an unwavering sense of belief. But this was different. This wasn't just about proving herself in a boardroom or closing the best deals. This was personal. She had recently acquired the dealership. The previous owner had seen in her the same drive and vision, believing that Jasmine would take the business to new heights. Yet the staff, especially the manager, had no idea who she truly was. "Excuse me," the manager, a tall and sharply dressed man in his 40s, called from behind the front desk. "Can I help you with something?" Jasmine smiled, her eyes sparkling with confidence. "Actually, yes," she replied, voice smooth yet firm. "I'm here to speak with your general manager." The manager gave her a quick once-over, a raised eyebrow appearing above his dark, scrutinizing eyes. "The GM is in a meeting, but I can assist you. What can I do for you?" "Is your GM Mr. Donovan?" Jasmine asked, her voice not betraying the storm that raged inside. She already knew who the GM was. She had her research and she was prepared. He nodded slowly. "Yes, but as I said, he's in a meeting. If you're interested in a car, I'm happy to help." Jasmine glanced at the cars on display, her face calm, but her thoughts storming with a blend of frustration and resolve. "I'm not here to buy a car," she said, stepping forward. "I'm here to talk about something else." The manager folded his arms, a smug look on his face. He didn't take her seriously. "Then if you don't mind waiting, I'll let him know you're here." Jasmine didn't budge. "Actually, I think it's best I speak with him now. It's a matter of some urgency." The manager, visibly growing uncomfortable, got up from his chair and walked briskly toward the GM's office. He knocked on the door before entering, his voice barely audible. Jasmine took a deep breath, collecting her thoughts. It wasn't easy, being underestimated. But this moment was far more than a chance to prove her worth. It was a statement. A silent reclaiming of her place in a world that too often tried to silence her. The door opened, and the GM stepped out. He was an older man, graying at the temples, his face lined with years of experience. Behind him stood the manager, looking back over his shoulder at Jasmine with a subtle expression of disbelief. "Ms. Jasmine?" The GM's voice was soft, unsure. "How can I help you?" Jasmine smiled warmly, but there was an undeniable edge to it. "I think there's been some confusion. You see, I'm the new owner of this dealership." The words hung in the air, a truth that made the GM freeze for a split second. His eyes widened and he looked back at the manager, who seemed unable to comprehend what he was hearing. You're the owner?" the GM finally asked, his voice faltering. "Yes," she said, her smile widening slightly. "I'm the owner, and I think we need to have a conversation about how things are." "Run here." The manager's face turned red with embarrassment. He sputtered, trying to regain some form of control. I didn't know. I didn't." He trailed off, his words failing him. Jasmine wasn't done. She had been through countless moments where her identity, her worth, was questioned. This was no different. But it would be the last time anyone underestimated her. "I understand," Jasmine said with a softness that contrasted her earlier firmness. "Sometimes people are quick to judge others based on appearances. But what I hope we can do here is work together. No assumptions, just respect. For what's possible." The GM cleared his throat, trying to regain his composure. Of course, we will make sure to address everything appropriately. But Jasmine didn't leave it at that. She didn't just want to silence the doubts. She wanted to inspire a change, a true shift in how things were handled. And so she offered the first of the kindnesses that would ripple through this building, beyond what anyone could have predicted. I'd like to offer you and your team a chance, she continued, her voice a steady wave. Not just to work for me, but with me. I believe in the power of collaboration. But for that to work, we all need to operate with a new mindset. I know it'll take time, but if you're willing to give me a chance, I'll prove that together. We can make something extraordinary. The GM and the manager exchanged glances, unsure of how to respond. It was rare, after all, for anyone to walk in and show kindness when they could easily throw their weight around. But Jasmine's words weren't just an offer. They were a promise, and they resonated. That very day, Jasmine set up a meeting with the entire staff. She didn't come in with an air of authority or demand. Instead, she spoke to them with a calm sense of purpose, sharing her vision for the dealership, for the future. Her kindness wasn't just about treating others well. It was about lifting them up, believing in their potential, and above all, showing them the power of believing in each other. As the days passed, a visible shift occurred. The once cold and divided team began to come together. The manager, who had once been dismissive, now approached Jasmine with genuine respect, eager to learn from her leadership. And the other employees? They followed her lead. They saw how a simple act of belief could change everything. Jasmine wasn't just a businesswoman. She was a changemaker, a woman who understood that true leadership came from kindness, trust, and collaboration. In a world that often sought to divide, she chose to bring people together. And as Jasmine stood in the dealership's lobby one last time, looking out at the cars in the lot, she couldn't help but smile. Not just because her business was thriving, but because she had created something far more valuable than profits. A place where people were treated with the respect they deserved. A place where kindness had broken the chains of prejudice and where hope had sparked a lasting change. Call to action. What do you think of Jasmine's journey? Have you ever witnessed kindness change everything? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that inspire hope and transformation. What's next? Stay tuned, because we've got another incredible story coming your way soon.